Hey Beholding fam, it's Nissy, and I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share this week's Devo with you guys. We're going to be focusing on being obedient to God versus being obedient to the world. Obedience, by definition, is submitting to or conforming in action to the wishes, instructions, or ways of another. In a biblical sense, obedience is aligning our will to God's will, doing what He has asked of us, and following God's lead even when we are unsure of the outcome. Let's turn to Daniel chapter 6. Everyone is familiar with this scripture of Daniel in the lion's den. So Daniel was distinguished, set apart, and had the favor of God. But the other government officials were jealous and had King Darius create a law in which only King Darius should be worshipped and that no one would be able to worship any other god. But Daniel, being aware of this law, still got on his knees and prayed to God 3 times a day. Daniel refused to bow to man and give in to the ways of the world. He was obedient to God even though it was against the world, which caused him to be thrown into the lion's den because he had broke the law. Yet in the lion's den, God sent his angels to shut the mouths of lions, and Daniel was not harmed. Daniel, being obedient to God, led him to endure the uncertainty of the lion's den. Through earthly eyes, his situation of staying alive in the lion's den seemed humanly impossible to get through, but God still rescued him. Just like the government officials were trying to out Daniel, the world may be pressuring you to sin and stumble and to follow its ways. But we must be faithful in our pursuit of the Lord, consistent in prayer and petition before Him, continually serving Him and following His lead. And following His lead doesn't always mean it's going to be rainbows and roses. You will still endure heartbreak, pain, suffering, loss, and uncertainty. But even there, God will be with you. Whatever you're facing may seem so impossible through your own eyes or through the eyes of others, but being obedient to God and not giving into the ways of the world will lead to Him rescuing you in the most unlikely of ways. Ways humanly impossible, but only possible through God and by God. For He is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed, and His dominion shall be to the end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. Daniel 6:26-27. So let us learn from Daniel and not let the ways of the world distract us from having a persistent and consistent prayer life with God. Don't let the ways of the world pressure you to sin and lose out on having a personal relationship with Jesus. I leave you with the question to reflect upon. Are you willing to let go of the ways of the world, the things that are holding you back and holding you down? Are you willing to let go of that and be obedient to God? May God bless you all.